Kia ora, hello, I'm Philip Duncan and thanks for joining us for our Friday weather update recorded on August the 9th. Well, we've got low pressure around the North Island at the moment, but it is very weak. This is it here. There are a few showers around the North Island, a couple around the upper South Island as well, but this system is falling apart. Most of the showery weather will be along the east to northeastern corners here, and it does fall apart as we go right across the weekend. And after that, high pressure moving through. So colder nights tonight and tomorrow night. There'll be frosts again through inland areas in particular, mostly around the South Island. But as we get to about Sunday, this westerly flow around Australia will come in across the South Island, and that's going to lift up the temperatures. So let's have a look at the temperature departure from normal. In other words, how much warmer or cooler is it for this time of the year compared to previous years? And what you're seeing is, as we go through overnight tonight, the blue on the eastern side of New Zealand means those areas are about average to colder than usual. Let me animate the weekend. So let's go across Saturday and Sunday, and you see that blue melting away. That's because those warmer westerlies come through Sunday afternoon and evening, early hours of Monday morning, and that lifts up the temperatures, but it's lifting them up ahead of a cold change coming through on Monday, a windier sou'wester really. Let's have a look at Saturday lunchtime. You can see the wet weather out at sea. Now this map is a little different to the usual ones. Usually we just show you the lunchtime snapshot. Now that is what you're seeing with the airflow, but as far as the rain, that is showing you 24 hours worth. And we've done it that way because plenty of little showers here and there around the North Island, and it just sort of didn't look very clear, just showing you the lunchtime version of it. So you can see most of the rain is out at sea here. Around the eastern side of the North Island, some of these areas will be getting up and above 20 millimetres, maybe 20, 25 if you're lucky or unlucky, depending on if you want it or not. And then over here around Auckland and Northland, not very much in the way of showers, but they are around, as they are potentially around the lower part of the North Island and the very top and northeastern corner of the South Island. But otherwise, as you can see, 24-hour period, it is very dry around the South Island. Lunchtime Sunday, this is the usual map, just showing the showers and wet weather at lunchtime. And you can see the windier westerlies coming through on Sunday. That is the reason why we're seeing temperatures coming up and above average, because of that warmer airflow coming through from Australia. It doesn't mean it will feel warm for everybody. We're still in winter, obviously, but compared to usual, it will be a little bit milder. You can see a few showers moving up the west coast, maybe a few showers along the western side of the North Island. Otherwise, most places dry out in the east as that low falls apart. So remember, it warms up here on Sunday, but on Monday, the colder change comes through. Now, this is not a major event. At the top of New Zealand, it is windy on Monday. Could be gale force winds, especially in the marine areas around Auckland, for example. But if you track the origins of these isobars, they're coming out of Australia. So this is not a cold change for most, but those of you in the lower South Island and the eastern South Island and maybe around Wellington, Wairarapa, you might feel that colder airflow for a time coming through as there is this weak cold front on Monday. But look, next week, apart from a few showers in those south to southwesterly winds or southerly quarter winds, they might just be a little bit more southeast around the Mahia Peninsula, most places are drying out. So just a few showers, but the high pressure zone, that is definitely in control. So look at Wednesday of next week. It's about as big as Australia, and it's smack bang over the top of us, all the way up to Samoa, all the way down to the Auckland Islands and the sub-Antarctic region. So our winter of big highs carries on. You know, the weather is a mixture of pattern and chaos. Bob McDavitt used to always say that. It's a great saying. And basically, I mean, that's what we're seeing this winter. We're seeing the chaos of a neutral weather pattern, but we're also seeing this pattern of high pressure zones coming along, really big ones. And that's the reason why we're seeing some areas drying out. So as we go into Thursday, we've got high pressure to the north of us and some low pressure out here. This system that might bring a bit of wet weather to the eastern side of Australia, that's it there, starts to come into the west coast on Thursday. But how's this for a map? Now this is not locked in 1 week from today when we recorded this, but two big high pressure zones, one here and the other one here, quite a long way south this one, as we've seen a couple of times happen this winter. So this one here is dragging down subtropical air from our friends and neighbours up at Fiji and dropping that down over the North Island, while the other high pressure zone here works with a low pressure zone to dredge up Antarctic airflows and into the lower part of New Zealand. Now this isn't locked in. Why? Because These highs are the controlling features, and they just have to breathe out a wee bit or slightly change shape and everything changes for us. That's the problem with long-range forecasting. So we are seeing high pressure, but exactly how they align for Friday of next week, I think we've still got a few more days to go to lock that one in. But it just shows you the volatile weather, and I think as we're going through into spring, which is getting closer to us now, these big highs are likely to carry on. It's the right time of the year for them. We get our most powerful highs at this time of the year. But what we're seeing at the moment is a bit of variety with the temperatures, hot and cold, basically being mixed together around New Zealand, and that does make things a little more complicated as far as trying to lock down some of this stuff in advance. That is all from me. I'll see you again on Monday.